Hello, everyone. Welcome to In Conversation With, where I talk to members of my community about life, business, struggles and successes, usually in the network marketing industry. But today I've got a special guest. I've got Sophie here, Sophie Bradbury from Oh My Socials, my social media manager. So you might see some of her posts pop up on my TikTok and Instagram, maybe on my business page every now and again. Sophie helps me with my social media quite a lot. So tell you what, Sophie, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yes, so I live in Brighton, and I started on my socials not that long ago, actually, after I have like an influencer page, Budget Mum Soph, and that kind of blew up, and I was learning about social media and kind of found like a passion for it, if you like. So I started social media managing, which also blew up from there, and now I help small business owners as well. I like do some mentoring with social media and obviously do the managing as well. And I still do my influencing stuff, sharing all my budget tips and things because I love doing that as well. So,
busy lady. And you've got kids in the background as well.
I do. I've got a 2-year-old, nearly 3-year-old Albie. So yes, he's great fun. He's often joins in my lives, and you'll often hear him in the background. But he's not here today. He's been shipped off.
Oh,
yes, he has been shipped off.
Children or dogs normally interrupt these things.
Yes,
it's all good.
Yes. No, it's really quiet. Like my house is really quiet. It feels really weird, but
oh, fab. So what is it that you love about the social media? What is the passion that you have for it then?
I kind of fell into helping mums in business in particular. I think maybe because I'm a mum and that's kind of who I drew to me. But I love helping people have successful businesses through social media, like I always say, like, where else can you get, if you have a reel that gets 1,000 views, that's like 1,000 people walking into your business.
Yeah.
Like, where else can you get that kind of marketing? It is the best way to market. And I just love helping people kind of figure out how to do that, or I do it for them, and reach those new people and obviously see people's businesses go up. So that's kind of what I love, and especially helping mums in business is what I've kind of tend to do now. But it's so that it's seeing them being able to work around their kids that I love as well. And being able to quit their jobs and do their sort of side hustle full time, and that's what I love. And because working around kids is really hard and childcare is really expensive, so if I can help anyone cut those down, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah, well, pretty much the same as me. It's having that impact for somebody else to be able to see them succeed, isn't it? And it makes such a difference.
I think because going self-employed made such a difference to my life and my family's life. Now I'm just like, well, if I can help anyone else do that and have that same flexibility. And my parents were self-employed, so I grew up with them always coming to like school assemblies and things, and I knew as soon as I had Albie, I knew I was a teacher, and I knew I didn't want to go back to that, and I knew I wanted to be self-employed so I could be flexible around him. So helping other mums and parents do that is it is the best, as you say. Like seeing that reward.
It is. Yeah, because I think the whole of industry, this network marketing, affiliates, influencing, all gets a bad name. It really does.
Such a bad name, like especially influencing. I was in around January time, I was picked up and I was in the Sun and the Daily Mail and everything, and I shouldn't have read the comments, but I did, and some of the comments were horrendous. It was like, oh, I stopped reading as soon as it said influencer, like she must be loaded, and influence, like to get paid as an influencer was really, really hard, because people just want to do gifted brands, and it gets such a bad name. And I was reading the comments and it was just like, gosh, like people have no idea how hard it is, and it's the same with network marketing, that where I've worked with people on their social medias before, and it is that stigma, isn't it, that you follow them and they're going to send you the same copy and paste message. But it's getting it out there that that's not what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're on here today specifically to talk about engagement, aren't we?
Yeah.
What it is, what it isn't, what to expect, how to get it. We're going to attempt to cover as much as we can. So
Yes.
I'm going to pass it over to you. What do you want to get across today about engagement?
Well, mainly that you don't have to be getting hundreds of likes to have an impact. Especially now, like, for example, 3 years ago, I remember posting a picture of, I'd made my bed, and the caption was something like, oh, I was pregnant, and it was something like, oh, yes, I rung Adam crying because I couldn't make the bed, or something. And I remember getting like 500 likes, and it was mad. But if I posted that now, it wouldn't get anywhere near that amount of likes, because social media's changed so much, and how we consume content is so different. Because of the rise of TikTok, we're just scrolling. People aren't really stopping to like, and lots of people fixate on the number of likes they have. Whereas actually, I always say, look at your reach rather than your likes, because people just aren't stopping to like anymore. And actually, when I work with brands as well, brands don't really ask for likes anymore. They ask for reach. So it can be really disheartening when you post something and it gets 2 likes, and one's your mum and your nan. But actually, it doesn't really matter, because it's your reach that you should be focusing on, rather, because, you know, and I do it. I scroll and I don't stop to like things. You get in that like scrolling like cycle, don't you? So don't kind of focus on likes, because actually you should be focusing more on your reach. And and again, even with reach, like, you want to be reaching those ideal clients, you know.
Definitely.
I work with some local businesses, and we had a viral reel. It got like 1.4 million, which is amazing. It looks amazing on the page, but actually the impact of that, it didn't really matter, because that, you know, they're a cafe in Eastbourne. It doesn't matter that people in Manchester are seeing them, because it doesn't impact their business. So I think it's really easy to get kind of fixated on the numbers with engagement.
Very. We like that sense of recognition we get, don't we? And it does something in our brains. Think, oh, somebody's liked
it's like that hit, isn't it?
And we think, oh, this is great, you know. Oh, I've had 200 views on this thing, I've reached as many people. But who have you reached?
Exactly. And you can reach those people. You know, like, I could create content that could go viral, like, you know, the kind of content that would go viral, but it's not in my niche, so it wouldn't impact me. I did on my influencer page, actually, on TikTok, when I first came to TikTok, I did a video about my mother-in-law and it went viral, and it got millions of views. But actually, and I gained some followers from it. And then I did one a few months later, and it was my food shop, and it got about 700,000 views. And actually, I gained more followers from that than I did my mother-in-law one, because the food shopping one was my niche and it was my area. Whereas with the mother-in-law one, they were obviously clicking onto my page and being like, oh, she's sharing her budget tips, that's not for me. Whereas the content that I create, even if the reach isn't so big, it's within my niche, so I'm still getting those followers.
And that is super important, because it isn't about reaching somebody in America, you know, 50-year-old bloke in America. If that's not your target audience, what's the point?
And I see people all the time. I saw a thread, actually, and it was like, what would it mean to you if your business if you had a viral video? And everyone was like, oh, it would change my life, and but actually it doesn't. You know, so actually so many people are going viral now. Actually, it doesn't have that much of an impact. It's more about being consistent and posting consistently, and, as you know, you say as well, valuable content.
Yes, definitely.
And in turn, you know, if you're creating valuable content, you will get the engagement back, because people value it. So and I see all the time people kind of use like follow me, I'll follow you back, and
my pet hate.
Yes. Me too, and I've done it before, you know, when I first started influencing, that I did it as well. Like, I've made that mistake before.
I was taught it back in the day as well, Sophie.
Exactly. But actually, and you know, it took me the longest time to get my account like reaching people organically again, because at the end of the day, if you break it, you are breaking Instagram, Facebook's rules by doing that. You know, and they know if someone's followed you from your content or whether they followed you from a message or a thread. So by doing those kind of things, you are going to restrict your reach anyway, because
and not just because Facebook doesn't like it, because those people aren't your ideal client.
Exactly. You know, if someone is following you because they have to, and they're liking your content because they have to, they're not taking it in. They're just liking, so they get the like back.
Yeah, if they
Yeah.
like it at all.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember back, years ago when I was doing it with my influencing page, having that like epiphany moment. I was like, I'm liking all these pictures, but I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they're doing with my content as well. And that's when I kind of stopped and overhauled my account and gained, and now obviously I've gained thousands from it because of that creating that organic content, and I've grown quicker than I would have carrying on doing the follow for follow thing. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, so
and
it's
thing I
fake
never
engagement.
understood. It
And
is
it
the
is,
wrong sort of engagement. You're right.
yeah, especially when you're a business, because you're selling. So you can't sell to those people.
No, because they're never going to want what you've got. And
Exactly.
Psychologically, we always do something for our own benefit. Whether that is, if you're helping somebody, you're doing it still for your own benefit in some way, shape, or form. Sorry to be
No, totally.
but we do. But it's really important to recognise that people want to engage on your content for their own benefit.
Yeah,
so
and especially if you're getting loads of likes, say for example you're the Body Shop at home, and all of your likes are coming from fellow Body Shop consultants, well, they're not going to buy any of your products. So it does you no favors, really.
But it's also true that the platforms put you in front of more people that are like your audience currently.
Yeah. So if you've got loads of Body Shop consultants liking your things, you're then going to be shown to more Body Shop consultants. Obviously, because and kind of there's not just one algorithm, there's loads of algorithms, and it's kind of done on how you interact with people. So if you are interacting with those people, you're going to then be shown more of those people. So it's doing you no favors, basically.
So in our membership, in the Success Lounge membership, we do a once a month a guided implementation for follow-up. So follow-up is basically creating conversations. It's not just about following up to get an order. And one of the things that we do, we spend 10 minutes just sitting and interacting with our ideal client on a platform in the newsfeed for you page, whatever, because it's so important that you train your platform to understand what it is that you want to see.
I do similar. I call it like my engagement strategy, but
I call it scroll hole.
Yeah. Oh, amazing! Like just interacting with those people that not even to, as you say, not even to get sales, but
just to be genuinely interested.
Yeah, often I comment at as people when I'm doing their engagement, and often I'll say like for example, if you were a bookkeeper, I'd comment. If someone comments, or I'd comment back and saying like, oh, you can message me. You don't have to be using my services, but if you and just start those like genuine conversations, and then they'll message and she'll message back, and there's genuinely no pressure to use those services. But it goes back to that kind of sales psychology, isn't it? Because then when it is time that they're looking for a bookkeeper, who are they going to think of? They're going to think of the nice lady that helped them with a question.
Exactly. And this is the point that I try and make all the time. Social media is designed to be social. So if you want engagement, you need to be engaging, and you need to engage.
Exactly. And I think when you're a business as well, because, and I don't like using the word saturated, because I do think there's room for every business. But I just mean that, for every business, there are 10 people doing the same business. So
it's not thousands.
Yeah, exactly. So you need to stand out, and whether that's creating valuable content or genuinely engaging with people, that's how you're going to stand out and making those relationships. And rather than doing the follow for follow threads and like for like threads, because you're not going to stand out.
No,
by doing that.
Absolutely not. So top tips from you on creating engaging content.
Yes. So I've got, always when I work with a business or mentor them, I always say, let's start off by creating valuable content. So I never post salesy posts to start with, because people aren't going to buy. As you always say, people buy from people, and people aren't going to buy from you if you just start posting salesy things. And I always see people just post their products, and then they're not going to buy from you. So create valuable content. If you've got a moisturizer, don't just show the moisturizer. You need to think like, what would your ideal client like to see? Well, what are the benefits of the moisturizer, or how can you use it in your routine? And actually so my first tip is to create valuable content that's going to mean something to people, because that's what will get the engagement anyway. And then I did one for a first aid, for mini first aid, and they have like a choking device that you put things in to see whether kids can choke on it. So I did a reel on it, and it was just showing things that kids can choke on, and it absolutely flew.
Wow.
because actually I wasn't just showing the product, I was giving them value from it. So they were seeing how it works, and it got thousands of views, and rather than just posting a picture of the product, that wouldn't have had as much impact. So create content that's valuable for them, not just valuable for you. Like, what your products are, you love them, so you could just see a picture and you'd want to buy it, but they don't know that. So
no. And why would it be any different from buying that exact same product off a website, off a shop?
Exactly, in the shop. Exactly. And then I have some like tips on just kind of boosting your engagement as well. So one thing I do is so when somebody comments on my post, I reply, but I don't like the comment straight away. So I'll reply to it, get on, post some more content, and then I'll go back through and like the comments, the older comments. And all that does is obviously they then get a notification, like Budget Mum Soap has liked your thing. So they then get that notification and then click on me, and then they'll see all my newer content as well. So that's just kind of a tip, just to keep you visible as well. With them, I do it a lot. Every Sunday I post a car boot sale haul, because I love a car boot.
I know, I love a car boot too.
I love it. Sorry, got too excited there. So every Sunday I post a car boot, and so I'll post it, and then I'll go back to the previous Sunday and like all the comments. And then everyone that commented last week come again to see what I've got this week. Just kind of reminds them that you are there, if that makes sense. So I do that, and that's a nice way to get them coming back to your page. Another thing in terms of engagement as well is sometimes I'll do like themed days. So again, every Sunday I'll post a car boot haul. So then people are coming to my page every Sunday to see that. Kind of similar how you do lives, I guess, as well. But I do that on, whether you do that on Instagram or TikTok, it just means you've got people coming to you every week for value.
So a bit like if you were in the skincare industry, it could be like a face mask Monday.
Exactly that. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, like, we've got some people do like fitness Fridays and they share a fitness tip, but it also, obviously people are coming back every Friday, but also I get people on a Sunday come and check whether I posted. I haven't yet, and then they go and view my previous week's content, because like we were saying earlier, that on average only about 2% of your followers see your content when it's pushed out. So if they've missed a video, then they come back every Sunday and they're like, oh, I didn't see that, and they watch my video, maybe give it a like or a comment. So that's going to boost your engagement as well.
And I think this continued visibility and this consistency is key to engagement. It's no good just showing up once.
Oh, do you know, and I always get people come to me and they're like, oh, I posted every day last week and then I didn't post for a month, or that kind of thing. And actually, if you post once a week, but you do that consistently, that's going to have much more of an impact than posting and then ghosting.
Definitely.
Be visible and just post and create valuable content, and the engagement will follow as well. But don't be disheartened if the engagement isn't huge, because in general, because we consume content so differently now, people's likes are down compared to what they were a few years ago, but actually people's reach is up. So look at your reach rather than your likes.
So what sort of reach are you looking for? What are you looking for in your insights?
So as I say, it goes out to about 2% of your followers. Unless, actually, I say that, but actually if you've got about 200 followers, it goes out to a bit more.
Because the more followers you get, the less percentage it is.
So I say about 2%. And stories as well. Your story views should only be about 2 to 6% of your following, which is nothing. And people always get disheartened when their reach looks so low and their story views look so low, but it's normal. It's what everyone's getting. So as long as your reach is you're getting that 2% pushed out, then that's great. And it goes back to the content you create. If you are creating valuable content, you will get more reach. It's a really slow build up, and when I kind of had this big overhaul of my account, it started off really, really slowly. Like my reach was nothing basically, because I'd obviously switched everything around. And actually now, my reels are getting like 10,000, 20,000, but it's taken me a long time to get to that point. But it's just being consistent that got me there. It's consistent. Consistency is key.
It is, absolutely. And understanding that is a normal. And I know when I speak to my audience all the time, and I say, even on a Facebook group, when you think that your group members are getting a notification, which they're not, most of them,
Exactly.
you're only ever going to get that percentage anyway, maybe a little bit more in a very engaged group. But
exactly. Like I see, people, like if you've got 3,000 followers and your reels are getting 300 views, it might feel a bit disheartening, but that's normal.
Yeah.
And then you might have the odd reel that actually gets more than that. But if you keep posting consistently and the people that your content is being pushed out to keeps watching and engaging, naturally Instagram or wherever will start to show it to more people. Because at the end of the day, any social media platform, their intention is for you to stay on their platform for as long as possible. So if you're creating content that's engaging people, they're going to push it out to more people because you're making them stay on their platform.
Yeah. And if you've got your niche right and you are putting your content directly to that niche, then you're going to get...
Exactly. You'll find your tribe. You'll find your people.
Yeah. Which is important if you want to make sales from your engagement.
Exactly. But and again, I get people to come to me, and a lot of people want kind of quick sales and things, but it does take a while if you want to build that genuine connection, genuine sales, it is going to take a few months to find those people. And you will get sales in between, but it will get to a point where you are the expert, you're the skincare expert, and you post something and then people do sell it. People do buy it because you're the expert and you're recommending it. So it takes a while to kind of build that up, but if you're consistent, you're consistent, valuable content, and you're engaging back with people, then you'll grow. But stop doing the like for likes and the follow for follows.
Yeah.
My biggest tip.
Absolutely. And if you've got a pile of people that are following you on your platforms or added you as a friend that are not your ideal client.
Exactly. The other day.
Oh, she's coming back.
I did a reel for a client the other day, and it got to 30,000 views, which is amazing. And then I started to get notifications, and it was like Indian men were liking it, and obviously that's not her ideal client. So we archived the reel for the night, because obviously the time difference, it was hitting people that weren't our ideal client. So we archived it for the night. So it didn't grow. It probably would have grown. It probably would have got 100,000, but we didn't want that because that's not our ideal client. And we didn't want Instagram to think that was then our ideal client. So I archived the reel, put it back live the next morning, and it started to grow again. But this time it was her, like pregnant mums were her ideal client, and it was those people it was reaching. So viral reels aren't everything.
No, they're not. And I think it's really important to remember to stick to your lane, to get engagement from the right people, and not worry about the figures. Just keep going and keep doing and putting it out there.
And when you start, it will look really low. Like you'll think, and it is really disheartening. As you say, we want that result, that quick result. But honestly, and even looking at my stats now, I can look back and see the increase when I started being consistent and I niched down. I can see that increase month on month. And in January, when I was getting a handful of likes, my mum got more likes posting about the dog on Facebook. It was really disheartening, but actually now it's grown and grown and grown, and I'm so glad I did it like that. So stay consistent, and it is disheartening to start with, but it does, and it really does work. You have a strategy in place, it does work.
We are proof of this.
Yes, exactly.
I teach this for a reason, you teach this for a reason.
Exactly. I do say to people, I'm like, just go look at my page and you'll see the numbers go up. like you can see.
Yeah, and I don't have massive amounts of followers. I don't have massive amounts of reach or views on my posts, but I get business from it. That's what matters.
Exactly. I saw someone comment, I think on the group the other day, like, "Oh, I found you on TikTok. I love your TikToks."
Yeah.
And it just goes to show, like, you know, if you have a TikTok that reaches 300 people, but they're reaching the right people,
yeah,
that's all that matters. Really.
Absolutely.
That's much more better than reaching 30,000 people that don't really care.
Too right. Thank you so much for coming on here and sharing.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
So where can people find you if they want more information?
So I'm on my socials, and then I'll leave I have like a social media support group where I just post like this, like engagement tips and things like that. So I'll leave that.
We'll put the link below.
Yeah, I'll pop the link. And then Budget Mum Soph, if anyone wants some budgeting mum tips, you're welcome to come over there. Or you just like a car boot and you want to see my weekly car boot haul.
Love it. Brilliant. Thank you.
I'm everywhere. I'm all over the place.
Love it.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Thank you. And I'll speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.